Hello, and welcome to November's energy update. I was personally really looking forward to this month's energy update because it is Scorpio season and I'm a Scorpio. So, this month is going to be deeply profound and transformative. I mean, what else could we expect from Scorpio season? So, hang around to discover the insights and energy currents that are coming in so that you can know how to take really full advantage of these energies this month. If you don't know me, I'm very happy to have you here. My name is Anna, and I'm a formally trained clairvoyant psychic. All right, let's dive straight into this. Let's go into theme number one. The first energy current that I saw is one about an inner revolution of self worth. This is deeply important. We often talk about self worth, but it feels as if we leave the essence out of it. We leave our spirit essence out of the conversation. It's as if we are trying to build self worth from the outside in. We do all these things like we go to the gym to build a better body. We have all these, we pursue all these achievements and success. We get a master's, we get a doctorate, all in the hopes that we're going to feel more worthy at the end of the day. But this really is going about it the other way around. And what we're going to be experiencing is this energy that allows us to understand that self-worth is inherent because of our spirit essence. We are worthy because we are. We are not worthy because we did X, Y, and Z. However, because we have created this system, we only allow a little bit of worthiness in once we start to look a little bit better and more fit. We start to allow more worthiness in once we start to earn more money, or who knows, whatever criteria you set up for worthiness for yourself. And what's happening now is that this is going to shift for us. And if you do have a very tight grip on one of these criterias, then this energy might awaken you a little bit, might shake you up and have you look at all these ways in which you feel unworthy, in which you make yourself feel unworthy. It's interesting because whenever I create these energy updates, I feel like I always go a little bit through these energies. It's like as soon as I become aware of them, they start to work in me. And I mean, I think we already start to feel them anyway if we're very sensitive from before the month even begins. And I feel this one deeply. I am becoming very aware of all the places in which I feel unworthy, the places in which I don't allow that light of my being to shine through, where I block it, where I block the worthiness which is inherent. It's deeply healing. And I was thinking to myself, what is the sign, the astrological sign that embodies worthiness the most? And my first thought was Taurus and then Leo. And then I noticed that actually there's a full moon in Taurus just a few days coming from now on the 5th of November. So it's quite interesting. I think it may be related to this full moon. And this really is an opportunity for us to embody this inherent worthiness, which I think the Taurus archetype really represents very well. So perhaps, the Taurus archetype really is about grounding and the felt sense of the body and pleasure. So if you really want to embody more of this inherent worthiness, I would say to try to do it through the felt senses, perhaps through the body. See what works for you. I think what I'm really drawn to doing myself right now is either going to the gym, which I haven't in a while, that just moving my muscles and working my muscles and just feeling that really feels really good to me. or going for a run. And I think that's a way that I can really connect to that. Or I was thinking perhaps like a massage would also feel really great. Maybe that's something that you want to try. So this inner revolution of self-worth is deeply important and powerful. It's really an opportunity for us to allow more of this self-worth in. So really be kind to yourself during this time, be compassionate, practice presence as much as possible, and use the energy of the full moon in Taurus to embody your inherent sense of worth. Theme number 2. So let's not forget that we are entering Scorpio season, which means that we're bound to have a few ego deaths here and there, just casually, nothing out of the ordinary. So, theme number 2 is about an identity shift or ego death, if you will, that allows us to have a more harmonious relationship with others and with our environment, with the planet. So, if you look at the evolution of human consciousness throughout time, we kind of went from living in collective societies where the group was more important than the individual to living in individualistic societies where really personal expression and freedom is much more important. However, we have kind of gone to the extreme of that sometimes where people have become really egotistical and selfish. So, what is happening right now is that we are readjusting and recalibrating so that we can live in a more harmonious way with our planet, with others around us. And I think if we are looking at the state of the world, more of that would benefit us, of course. So, what is really happening is that we are going from a solar plexus chakra consciousness to a heart chakra consciousness. We are evolving in that way. And this has been happening for a while, but this energy is really going to play an important part this month. So I am curious to see how this is going to look. I think that, a lot of people sometimes don't understand. It is quite difficult to understand what this looks like in practice because I think sometimes, we confuse dissolving the ego with really integrating the healthy ego into a heart chakra consciousness. But really, when we dissolve the ego, what happens is that we start to sink into lower consciousness, like second chakra, first chakra consciousness, more into that collective consciousness that we used to be in before. So, it's not about that. It's not about dissolving the ego. So a lot of us have worked really hard on creating strong boundaries, on putting ourselves first. And I just want to really, I guess I'm going to share with you an image that I saw to really illustrate what this evolution from solar plexus chakra to heart chakra consciousness might look and feel like. So what I saw was a beautiful yellow rose, and from this rose I saw a spiral of energy moving out of the rose into the outer environment. And then from the outside, from the environment, I saw another spiral of energy, and this was more energy going back into the rose, making the rose blossom and look really bright and beautiful. So I think you know where I'm really getting at. And it really makes sense. I mean, if we make sure to not pollute the environment, for example, we're going to be the ones benefiting the most out of it. We're going to be the ones breathing fresh air. Makes sense. And I also really think that the theme number 1 about really tapping into the source of true self-worth, which comes from simply being, from our spiritual essence. So I think integrating that we have this inherent sense of self-worth is really going to help us evolve in a healthy way and integrate this healthy ego into a heart chakra consciousness where we become in harmony with others and our environment. Theme number 3. This one is quite a short one, but I'm going to mention it anyway because it came through and it really plays very well with the other themes, especially with the next one, theme number 4. So this one is about spiritual community. So a lot of our spiritual practices, if we have them, like meditation, they can be quite solitary. And we can sometimes really fall into feeling quite isolated, but it doesn't have to be that way. We can find spiritual communities. I recently joined a group of wonderful individuals and I had such a beautiful experience. It was really unexpected. So, finding a spiritual community can be really enriching, and really leaning on a community right now can be, we can learn a lot from that, especially now because I really find that an overall overarching theme for this month really is a lot about interacting with others, about the collective. So a spiritual community would really help us integrate all these themes that are going on, and really just for support, because there is a lot going on, a lot of very powerful, strong energies in the air. Theme number 4 is so beautiful and it really connects so well with the other themes. So it really is about recognizing that these wounds that we hold that are so painful and triggering, that we don't hold them alone, that we all share the same wounds together collectively, that we all come here to heal together. We are healer to one another's. So we are not alone. When you feel alone the next time you feel triggered, remember this video. Remember, you are not alone. I know that sometimes we're really like in the midst of it and we feel so abandoned and so isolated, but we are not alone here. And the beautiful part of it is that we all play different roles in each other's dramas. We all have these soul agreements, these soul contracts, right? Where, our higher selves sign, and, our higher selves are like, okay, I'm going to be really mean to you and tell you that, I don't know, you're ugly. So, so that you can understand what beauty really means, and so that you can really embody that. Of course, this is not to excuse bad behavior, but my mentor famously likes to say that we can heal people in 2 ways: by giving them a hug, so in this loving, warm way, or by slapping them over the face, right? So in this like painful way. And another thing that came through is that really, whenever we're in the midst of going through something with someone and we're so triggered and we hate them, if we even have just a millisecond of awareness that there is a deeper meaning to this, that nothing is random, and that we're all healers to one another, just having a little bit of gratitude, tiny little bit of appreciation, can really shift things and allow more presence, more light to come through, and to really create healing. So there is really this opportunity to recognize each other's role and to see the bigger picture of things, and to understand that we carry these wounds together and we're all healers to each other. Tarot card guidance. So card number 1 of 2 is the 8 of Wands. So what is really happening this month is that we're going to be releasing a lot of new energy. We're going through a lot of healing, a lot of integrating, and so we're going to have a lot of new energy actually available to us. And what this card suggests is to take this new energy and to channel it into one clear direction. So if you feel pulled into many different directions, focus that energy into one clear path. Now for card 2 of 2 is the 10 of Swords. Speaking of ego death and rebirth and transformation, this is a perfect card for this month. So what this card is suggesting is to surrender, to go with the flow, and to allow these changes to happen. Trust the process. By really coming together as a community, being there for one another, holding each other, and seeing that we're not alone, what we do is that we start to collectively create a community, a society that is not rooted in isolation, in pain and wounds, but rooted in our truth together. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment, and subscribe. This supports me and my channel. It means a lot to me. And I hope to see you on here again soon.